Okay, this video shows how to bend the prongs over a stone, and with the introduction of Rhino 4, my favorite way to do this is with Cage Edit. So I'm going to go ahead and ungroup this, and there's a couple ways you can do this with Cage Edit. I'm going to do just the prongs here, and go to Transform, and here's Cage Edit. And we want bounding box as the shape that we're going to use. And then we hit enter on the world. And on the Z point count, we need a higher number. So I don't know, 6 or 7 I'm going to pick. So 4 is fine. 4 is fine for the X and the Y, but on the Z we need a higher count, and I'll show you why. So now we hit enter, and here's why. Because we want part of the prong to stay stationary and part of the prong to bend. And so we need enough points to where right next to the bend it can stay stationary. Okay, so there you go. So now we'll select all the top range, being careful just to select the points, and we'll go to looking down and transform and 2D scale. Start F4, and then we'll watch over here what's going on too. But in the looking down, we'll click here, and then we'll scale these in. And that starts to bend those right over. We can also take and pull this down like so, and if you want, you can grab the first 2 and move those down, and also 2D scale the top 2, and that to me is the one of the easiest and quickest ways to do that. All depends on what you want. I'm not a bench jeweler, so I don't usually look at them that close. But let's do this too. Let's go ahead and get rid of this one. And to do this next way, I'm going to go F4 with rotate from F4. Click here and then type 45 and hit enter, and that'll rotate just one prong around, and at this point actually we can get rid of these, get them out of our way. Alright, so now I'm working in the direct side view, and I'm going to use arc direction, I guess, and we'll go here and out here and just kind of match that angle. Notice I went past on purpose here. And we're going to rebuild this with more points, just like we needed more points to grab, to bend, using the other Cage Edit. We'll go ahead and do more points here. So if I turn on the control points, I have more to choose from. Alright, so now we'll go here and go to Cage Edit. And it says select the control object. We can pick this curve, and then of course we go into global. Now as I just grab these points, then the part comes with me, and I don't know, you might have a little more control with this on how that really moves and how much you can bend it. Don't worry about the preview. It's what goes on here as to there we go. So there's another way to bend that up over there, and of course now we'd go here, transform array from F4, 4 of those, and to get this back the way we want it, we'd go rotate F4 on out, type 45, hit enter, and I can't say that's radically looking different than using Cage Edit, but there you go. And just for fun, I mean, you could always sweep whatever you want to, or pipe it for that matter. You know, if you drew exactly what you wanted, then you could go pipe. Oh, you know what? This is no longer a curve. This is a cage object. So let's go copy, paste, and we might have to actually rebuild. Yeah, that's toast. That thing is now a cage object. We draw our own. Just doing terp curve. So if we came up along here, like so. Now this is obviously starting to become more labor intensive. I'll move that out there. Anyway, just for fun, we could come over here and make sure we pick cap equals round. And we'll leave it the same size. You know, so we get that, which we could array, of course. And there's that. Now, just for fun, I thought I would go ahead and import the file that was posted by Mr. Mark Morrell here in this thread, and just add it to the video. This is a clever way to do this back in the day. I think Cage Edit pretty much owns anything going forward. But here's the concept behind this one. If we get rid of this, we've got the prong as it's made, and then there's a curve here, and this curve is extruded down. So let's go here, straight, both equals no. And so now we have a surface, and the whole idea is we're working from a surface to a surface. These curves are not really needed in this scenario. So we go like so, and then we go to blend, and we pick one edge, enter, pick the other edge, making sure to click all the way around, then we get the arrows, and then we can set this up, and of course these arrows need to match in direction or it'll twist. At this point we hit enter, and I want this to come up a little bit, so I'll slide this and say OK, and we get this blended surf that comes up and tucks over the stone like so. Then you just hack off with a cutter what you don't want. And so that's a fun way to do that. You could do this. I was messing around with one more way, but that the fact that his surface was all ready to go in the right spot was certainly made that easy. If we go ahead and extract an ISO curve here, okay, like so, then we could come up and extend this curve. So we just hit enter, type equals arc is fine, so this is coming up, and it already wants to head over that way. So we'll extend this up like so, and then you know, I never ever use this tool, and it's a pretty cool tool. It's the bendy, it's called curve transform, but we call it the bendy tool. And the way it works is you put the curve in the box, and then you have the hold point and the bend point. And so the hold point we'll put here, and the bend point we'll put out here. And actually, let's take the hold down just a little. And then we come over to bend, and you have to be in the right viewport for this to work. Or the correct viewport, I should say. So let's go ahead and go in this one. And you go to bend, and you can sit and bend this. And if you want a tighter bend, you put the bend point down here closer to the hold point, kind of like you have pliers, and it's where you put the two pairs of pliers as to how it's going to bend. Okay, so we'll go hold point. And so if we want this to happen just really close to each other, then we can go here and it'll bend very quickly. Okay, and then if we go over to this viewport and bend, then it'll come over this way, and you can really pretty quickly get, you know, something bent the way you want it. So that's the bendy tool. And then of course we would sweep this. So if we go surface sweep 1, we'd go, there's the curve and this edge. We need to dupe that edge. That'd be the easiest way. Dupe edge. This edge right here. Like that. You can just do a region around that. Enter. Join. Don't forget join. And surface sweep 1. Profile. This is going to be a pretty bad sweep, I can tell. It's trying. There it goes, starting to go up. So we'd want to bend that over even more. And I guess lastly, the way that I would tend to do this, let's get rid of this gem, is we'll extract another ISO curve. Okay, like so. And then I'd draw a little tick mark line out here this way and select that and move it up. This of course is going to be a blend target, like so. And we would blend from this line to this line, like so. And depending on the angle of this curve is what it's going to do. In other words, if we alright, so now if we do that, then if we blend again, we'll go from here to here. There we go. And we'll join this up. And we can go ahead and go to surface and sweep 1 and do that curve. And that'll sweep up that way too, and then we could just cut off what we don't want. And then of course we could put a smaller curve out there as well, like our blend went to a smaller curve. That's no problem. So there's a couple ways to do that. All kind of fun. Let's go ahead and mirror this over this way. Something like that or something. I don't know. Anyway. Alright, but CageEdit is certainly pretty handy for that.